Not Just Boxing are here to announce our proud sponsors, ETS.
Yep, Eco Technology Solutions, specialise in the repair of laptops, tablets, mobile phones. They help businesses and consumers in the southeast.
So if you use the code FIX with Not Just Boxing, you'll get 25% off. The link is in the description. Go check it out.
Thanks, guys. Hello, everyone. Welcome to podcast number 13. We've got a very special guest here today, Mr. Iain Weaver, former GB athlete, competing in the amateurs for GB. Iain, how are we doing, my man?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. How are you about yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing good, thank you, mate. It's good to see you again. It's been a long time.
It is.
Obviously, met Ashley today as well.
Nice to meet you, mate.
Yeah.
So, what have you been up to, man? What's been going on?
I've just got my professional coaching licence, and I'm down the iBox gym in Bromley with the boys down there. So I'm now trying the other side of the ring, teaching.
Yeah.
So I had a few years out, but yeah, I'm back helping the lads out.
What were you doing when you were up?
Just working and being a family man.
Yeah.
Got a missus, little girl, got another little baby on the way.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So yeah, I was just doing stuff that I couldn't do when I was boxing.
Yeah. I think
So
I
a lot of
saw a
stuff I
post
missed
of you
out on.
actually before you were at the dance, weren't you? Taking your little girl to dance? Or at a
Yeah,
show?
my little girl's she's in a performing arts school. She's only 4, but she's doing it this weekend, and all week she's been doing that. She's had her second show in Bournemouth in the pavilion. She's got a dance show. She's been there from 2:30 to 11 o'clock at night doing 2 shows a day.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
mad.
she's only 4, but yeah, but she's doing
What
really
type
well.
of dance is that?
It's all different. So this is, I think it's the greatest legend. So she does tap, ballet, she does everything, and hopefully she's going to get in the acro squad. But yeah, so I just wanted to get her in something because I know what it was like getting in something when you're young, to give you discipline, and when they're growing up, discipline, training, it just gives them something to think about.
Look, so going back to what you said, discipline at a young age. What age did you start boxing?
I started in the gym at 5, but my granddad had his own amateur boxing gym. My dad was a boxer, though I was always watching the boxing. The boxing was on, or we'd be going to boxing shows. But I first started training at 5.
Were they your earliest memories, boxing?
Yeah, my earliest, my dad trained twice a week from when I was a baby till I was like 14, 15. So I was always with him, going to the gym, punching the bottom of the base. You know, they've still got videos of me from a baby with all the stuff on.
What, with big gloves up to you?
Big gloves, protector. I always had to have everything on, punching the bottom of the bag. Yeah, they've got the videos. So yeah, I had fond memories of when I was a kid.
And when did you start competing?
I had my first fight at 11. They was changing it from time to time. It was 10, then it was 11. But they changed it to 10. I had my first fight when I was 11.
How'd that go?
Yeah, I won it. I think I went to Ruislip in London, boxed. I think it was Tommy Stokes, my first fight. I think he had one fight and won it. I was really small, so I used to weigh in with my protector, and my dad used to put lead in my protector, so I'd weigh a bit heavier to get fights.
What weight was that then, with all that on?
I think I weighed like 28 kilos.
Wow.
I was small. I was only short. But yeah, I struggled to get fights. And when I boxed in Portsmouth on my first fight against the local lad, Robbie Matthews. Did the same there. Had the protector, put a bit of lead in there to get me.
So when did you?
Robbie's my boy.
Yeah.
Robbie's my boy. So how'd you get on against Robbie? How did that go?
I beat Robbie.
No
yeah,
way.
I beat Robbie. Yeah, I beat him in the money fields.
I want to give him some stick after
Yeah,
this now.
yeah. Yeah, I've seen him when I sparred him a few years when he came up on the GB squad. Yeah. When he came up for sparring, but yeah, he's a good lad, Robbie. He done well in the end.
He did.
Yeah.
I think he beat Martin Stead, didn't he? From
Yeah,
the Wales.
he did really well.
And some of the army boys when he went in the Navy. I think that gave him the chance to train full time, didn't it?
Yeah.
And how about yourself? Like, what club did you start at? Was it your granddad's club?
No, I started at Lawrence Amateur Boxing Gym in Lymington.
Okay.
That's what I had my first 14 fights for them, and then I moved across to Stewie Gill and Golden Ring.
How did that transition happen?
I boxed a kid from Golden Ring on my 13th fight on the Golden Ring show, and he beat me. But I got robbed, and I don't normally say
Was
that.
Stewie Connor doing the?
Stewie's in the opposite corner.
Oh, okay. I thought he was
and
in
he
the
said
scorer,
he said like he was
normally
shaking, no, you definitely didn't lose that fight. And I had a little chat with him, and the gym I was at Lymington, they didn't have anyone my weight, so sparring I was sparring big kids, and he said, look, we've got loads of lads down that gym, why don't you come down for some sparring? And I did. I went down to the old gym, done some sparring, and I fell in love with it. So
Where was it? Old gym? It was in Southampton, wasn't it? Where,
Yeah, just out in Shirley.
Was it in Shirley?
Yeah, a little gym down there, and they had some fantastic boxers there. You know, Tony Hill, Danny Kent, James Richardson. They're all fighting for England. You know, it's the main club to be around here. There was producing champions, so I moved there. First year I was there, I think I got to the schoolboy final, won the British Four Nations, and started fighting for England. So it was
At what age? Yeah.
14, I had my first fight for England, and then won my first national title at 14.
Wow, at what
Yeah.
weight?
I think it was 40 kilos.
Wow.
Yeah, 40 kilos. Yeah, it's good.
I'm not going to ask you what you are now, mate. So
I'm about 86 kilo, I think. My last fight I was at 63. And
how long ago was that? Was that?
2019
And that was in, and obviously the
in Texas, yeah, in America.
Amazing.
So did you travel a lot when you was at Golden Ring? Did you travel a lot for sparring, or did you just stay there until you sort of went on to
From the
Olympic
age of
squad?
14 to 17, I travelled. My dad used to take me around travelling quite a bit, to different gyms in London, and we'd go everywhere travelling for sparring. But we had quite a few good kids in our gym. A lot of people would come down to us, and then I got in the GB squad when I just turned 18, and that was it from there. I was on the GB squad in Sheffield from 18 till 22, like 4 days a week up there, and we had the best sparring. So.
And your main coach is Rob, you said?
Rob McCracken was, when I first got on the squad, it was the development, which was Jim Davison. Then Kelvin Travers was the main GB coach then at the time. And then in the time I was there, Kelvin left and Rob took over.
What age was that? What age did you get into the GB squad? You said 18.
Just
What year was
turned
that?
18, 2008.
2008.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had some good talent. You had James DeGale, who just came from the Olympics.
Yeah.
Who won gold that year.
Yeah, just as obviously it was like towards the end of 2008, I got my GB trial just after the Olympics. So as I got on, the boys from the Olympics had just left. I think David Price was still there training. Cal Yafai was still there, but a lot of them were just turned over.
Just turn
So
it
it's like a
So
new-
which ones did you come through in the GB? You obviously had yourself. Was it Luke Campbell?
Luke Campbell, Andrew Selby, Cal Yafai, Tom Stalker, Charlie Edwards, Callum Smith, Anthony Gogo, Anthony Joshua. There was loads of, like, I think 2012
What a
team.
list.
Yeah,
What a
2012 team was a really good list. Like, I think a lot of them have gone on to win world titles. So yeah, Joe Cordina, I think he's on the verge of fighting for a world title. You know, so Josh Taylor. So there was loads of us.
So how did you try out? Obviously you said they trialled you. Did
Yeah.
you just box some of like the best guys in England and they come along? Or
Well, no, you've got to win
Can't-
certain.
yeah.
You've got to win certain like titles. So in 2006, I won the Junior ABAs. 2007, I won the Junior ABAs and the British. I was boxing for England quite a bit. So there's two types: there's GB and there's England. I was on the England squad, travelling the world fighting. I won the Commonwealth Youth Games, the Junior ABAs and the Four Nations in the same year, 2008. And I got an invitation to go for GB trials, the senior GB trials. I was still a junior at that time. I was like 17, just turned 18. And you've got to go to Sheffield on a Thursday till Sunday.
do they sort you out? Or
Yeah,
do
they put you up for everything, sort your food out, your accommodation. But you know, you're up at 7 in the morning for your runs, then your strength and conditioning, and then your sparring, and they just put you through different processes to see what you like, what your abilities are, what you're not so good at. And then they whittle it down. So there was a few of us there. I think there was 4 or 5 of us at 57 kilos when we went for the trials first one. Then you get a call back for another trial, and then you get the final letter if you made a cut. And I think I was the only 57 kilos that got a spot, so which was pretty good.
Wasn't Luke Campbell in that?
No,
Or
Luke,
did he
Luke
come
was
later?
at 54.
Was
He
he
was
at
already on the
54?
squad. Yeah, he was the number one at 54, and it was at 57 then I was.
He must have been massive. at
Yeah, but
54.
he used to make 54 quite comfortably. So it was when the weights changed, that's when he had to come up to 56.
Yeah.
So because he did go to 57 in I think 2010, early 2010 when the weights changed, he made a jump up to 57. He didn't do great at 57 at the start. Like it was quite a big jump for him. But then he got into 56 kilos and
He filled out. a
he
little
filled
bit more.
out and he achieved a lot.
Hmm.
He definitely did, and I couldn't make the 56, so I moved up from 50. When it went to 56, I'd done one tournament at 56, thinking, and I thought I can't do it.
What was the difference between? Was it to us, to the normal, it's just 1 kilo?
Yeah.
But I know how much difference that kills. What did it take out of you, that 1 kilo?
It killed me. In 2010, I went to 5 tournaments at 57 kilograms. I think I ended up having like 23 fights that year, and then the last tournament was at 56. But I was walking around from 2007 to 2010. I was 57 kilos, so I was walking around like 62 kilos, getting it down to 57, and I made it okay. But that last kilo, 2 pound, that just killed me. Like literally, I had nothing, and it's like me making it. It was then when you win. And you got to weigh in the next day, and you win again, and you got to weigh in the next day. So making it 4 or 5 times in the week, I couldn't perform at it. It just took it out of me, completely.
And who was your main sparring back then?
Well, I was at the 57. We all mixed in, so I'd sparred 54s and the 60s and the 64s. So I was sparring Andrew Selby, Gamal Yafai, Cal Yafai, Luke Campbell, Joe Cordina. Josh Taylor was 60 kilograms, Martin J. Ward, Luke Campbell, there was Tom Stalker. There was a good bunch of us.
Yeah, solid.
Yeah, really good.
What Olympic Commonwealth Games did you go to?
Went to 2008 Youth Games and 2010.
Just before we get onto that, I'm quite intrigued. Like, who was it out of all that bunch that you sparred, that you trained with? Who was the hardest trainer in the gym during that time?
What, hardest worker?
Hardest trainer, hardest worker, yeah.
I'd say Anthony Ogogo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Anthony Ogogo. He would always do extra, and he lived the life.
Yeah, he's got quite a sad story, and he of injuries.
I think he had injuries, and he's wrestling now.
Is he?
Yeah, he's in the AWE, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a wrestler now.
I saw that.
But yeah, he used to work hard, and he'd lived the life. And
he's naturally athletic.
Yeah, he just lived the life, and he did everything right, and he went on to win Olympic bronze, so he did well.
And who was the most talented in the gym?
Andrew Selby, on the Olympic squad.
Was he the younger 52 or 54 kilo?
He was the 54, and then it went to 52. So he was. Andrew Selby was unreal, probably one of the naturally gifted, and he didn't know how good he was himself. He just got in the ring and done. It just come naturally to him, but he was fantastic. And I've seen his brother Lee last night.
He retired as well now.
He's just retired, yeah. But I think he's one of the wasted talents, because I think Andrew Selby could have gone on and won multiple world titles.
He never lived up to his potential. In the 2010, he lost out to, was it Amir Khan's brother? He lost out to, didn't he? Haroon. And then he went pro, and I'm not sure, he didn't do well. I don't think he did that well in the pros.
I think he won a British title quicker than anyone.
Okay.
I think he just didn't. He just had a few things going on. I think the passing of his mum messed him up a little bit. But I think the GB squad, when you're on the GB, he was on the GB squad for so many years. I think he got on the same year I got on, was in 2008, and he was there till 2016. Mm-hmm. And they do everything. Everything's there done for you. You tell you what time you've got to be training, what to eat, what time you're sparring. So everything's done. Your clothes are sorted. They give you boots, gloves. Everything's done. You get told what to do, when to do it, what you're doing. So when you leave the squad, it's a big difference, because everything's on you. You have to do it, and if you haven't got not the will, but if you haven't got anybody there telling you what to do and what not to do, it's pretty hard. And I think he struggled with it a little bit, because he got down in Wales. He was out with his mates, but it's just a waste of talent. I still speak to him. He's one of my best mates on the squad, but he's probably the most gifted kid that I've ever trained with, and I've been everywhere. I've trained with a lot of good kids, and he was naturally just gifted.
It must have been tough at that age as well, because obviously when you're dedicating your life to the sport and all your mates are out drinking and they're all having fun in their eyes, even though the bigger picture for you guys is so sweet, because you've got such good talent, at that time as a kid, it must be hard to see past the day sometimes.
Yeah, it is. I didn't know any different. From a young age, my mum and dad were quite strict on me. I went out with going out from a young age. I trained. My dad had a boxing ring business, and he videoed all the amateur boxing shows. So if I wasn't training or fighting, I'd be at the boxing shows with them, putting up the boxing rings and watching the boxing. So I was always around boxing. And when I got in a GB squad, I was up in Sheffield from Monday to Thursday, come home, train, and just chill out the weekend. So I never really went out drinking. And
that's such good discipline. For your parents to do that for you. I know
definitely.
Some people want that.
And that's what I want to do. My little girl, and I've got another one on the way. My little girl's in dancing. She's only 4, but she dances every Saturday and Sunday 10 till 2. This week she's done a second dance show. All week from Monday till Saturday she's been in there at 12. She finishes at 11 o'clock. She's 4 years old, so I just want to get her in something, get her in discipline, and staying off the streets and getting up to no good.
Yeah, and just having friends of that age, around the right minded people.
Yeah, and when they're around, like, because my mates were boxing people, so they wouldn't be doing nothing like silly or going out drinking. So it's just who you hang around with as well, I think.
So for the Commonwealth Games, what was the training like leading up to it? Obviously, you beat the Indian superstar.
Yeah.
Oh, who'd you beat there?
Akhil Kumar. I went to the Commonwealth Youth Games. I beat the world champion from India. Was
that in India?
It was in India, yeah. So
test one there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They do a test junior one there.
Yeah,
And then just,
I've done the Commonwealth Youth Games in the 2008, which is for the under 19s. I boxed the Indian in for a medal, and I was 4 points down going into the last round. I thought in India.
Wow.
I thought there's no chance I'm winning this. In the last round, I think it was 10-6. And I ended up winning 16-10. I dropped him in the last round. I won the last round 10-0. But he went on. He was the World Youth Games champion, and I think it was the Youth Olympic champion. And he went on to win a World Bronze medal and Olympic medal, I think, as well. And he's out in America now. He's a prospect with top rank. So,
what's his record in the pros?
I think he's 3-0. I think his name is Vikas Krishnan or something. His name is.
Yes.
Yeah, really good kid. I think he's welterweight or he's gone up quite a bit. And then I went to the test event in the Commonwealth in India in 2010, which was the Commonwealth Federations. I beat Akhil Kumar, which was the Olympian, and the former Commonwealth Games gold medalist, and I beat Bruno Julie, who was the Olympic Games bronze medalist and had beaten Luke Campbell previously to this fight I had with him. I beat him as well, and then I beat the kid that went on to win the Commonwealth Games in the proper Commonwealth.
Oh, so you won the test? I
won the test and the youth.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so I went to India 3 times for 3 different.
How did you find India? How did you find the culture and stuff over there?
Oh,
did you get a bad stomach?
I did.
Did you have it before you were fighting?
No, I stayed in the village because I was dieting and making weight. I didn't eat anything out. But after the Commonwealth Youth Games, they went, right, we go out for a meal. Like, we show you haven't been out of the village. We go out. Got a taxi, frightened me to death in the taxi.
Yeah, I was like the first time.
Oh my god! Like, if you haven't got a horn or something, I don't think you can go out in India. But we went to, I don't know where, went to some restaurant, and as soon as we ate it, like, we was flying home the next day, and I think everyone on the squad had bad belly, like really bad on the plane. It wouldn't be for me. And then I went back again. It's different out there. It's like the rich are very rich and the poor are very poor. Like, there's no in between out there.
Yeah.
But
Thank God that you didn't get it during the competition.
I know. But it's definitely different out there. A lot of people
love it. The horn scared me though. But when I first went India, I just get in a car and they get right up to it, don't they? Yeah. And then they go beep beep.
Like, they're dangerous. The taxi drivers out there, it's dangerous.
It's mad.
It is.
It's mad.
And the roads are not like our roads. Like, they're dangerous roads.
They're about 20-25 years behind us in terms of that.
You got every monkeys running around. You got bulls sitting on the side of the street. It's madness.
They go round in the middle of the road.
When I was in Sri Lanka, we're just going over a bridge, and there was just a wild elephant crossing the road.
It's madness. It's
a wild elephant, and you're just like, what?
Yeah.
Like that could kill you so easily.
Yeah, I think when the Commonwealth Games, when we went to the village the third time, I think there was rattlesnakes everywhere. There was monkeys going. It's crazy. Yeah, it was crazy.
Working on your footwork.
Yeah, it's crazy. You see monkeys running around the village. It's like
stealing your wallet and stuff like that. All stuff going. Yeah. Well, you must have travelled the world with England, didn't you?
Yeah, from the age of like, what was it? I first fought for England when I was 14. I've been everywhere. Yeah, everywhere. Like, especially with the GB squad as well. We're literally everywhere. All my fights were abroad towards from 2008 to 2012. I didn't have a fight in England. There was all for like GB.
You must have some crazy stories going abroad with the boys, right?
Yeah, it's mental. But to be fair, I never really got to, like, if you get beat in the tournament, then you can go out a little bit and explore. But like, I think I went to 12 tournaments and I think I won 10 medals, and I think I was in the final of like 10 of them. So I was always fighting up to like the very last day. So I didn't go out much at all. To be fair, I missed out on that.
What's a crazy story you experienced abroad?
Craziest story. I was always a good boy, to be fair. So
Yeah. Do you know what? I remember going to Golden Ring.
Yeah.
And I did a training session with Stewie Gill.
Yeah.
And he was telling me, Terry, you're boxing 3-4 times a year. Look at Iain Weaver.
Yeah.
You were boxing 12, 13, 14 times a year.
I think I went to, in 2010, I went to Commonwealth Feds and I had 3 fights in 4 days. I went to Turkey, I had 4 fights in 4 days. I went to Russia and I had 5 fights in 6 days. You know, I was fighting like 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah.
What was the most hostile atmosphere?
India.
Yeah,
the first time, 2008, when I was boxing the Indian. They was booing me. Like, they didn't like us, and obviously Tommy Stubbs and a couple of the other lads on the squad, they was like giving it to the Indians back. There was thousands of them, like booing, throwing things like. But and especially when I beat him, they weren't happy. Definitely wasn't happy, but
must have felt good though.
Yeah,
the most hostile crowd, and you got the win.
I didn't. It never used to bother me, to be fair, because when you're in the ring, listen, it's just me and him, so I didn't pay much attention. But when I got out, they was booing. And
how was he? Was he nervous? Did you notice any nerves in him when he was in the ring, or was he quite calm?
He was quite confident.
Was he quite confident?
Yeah, he was quite confident. Yeah, he was a confident kid, because I think he's been about a bit. He had a lot more experience than what I did. I was only 18. And he went to like.
How old was he?
I think he was 18 as well, but he'd been like boxing for India. Like I think he went to the World Championships. I think he went to the Olympic Youths. So he'd been to a few big tournaments. That was like one of the first major competitions I went to for long.
How did you handle yourself in there? Like beforehand, like did you feel, was the nerves different because it was such a big event, or?
I was quite excited, to be fair. I just thought I needed to, because I got the GB trial letter through before I went to the Commonwealths Elite Youth, so I thought I have to medal, get a gold here, and then I'm definitely going to get on the squad. So I didn't used to fold under pressure, so I used to deal with it quite well, and I did. I think the first kid I knocked out in the first round, I beat the Indian 16-10, and then I beat Paul Highland Jr. from Northern Ireland 16-3, and then I beat the lad in the final 16-1. So I had a good tournament, to be fair. Yeah,
wow,
really good.
That's a landslide in.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was good. It was a good tournament. But 2008 was quite a good year. I had a good year.
And what was your dieting like? Obviously, was you always on weight, eating?
Yeah, in between. I used to make 57 kilos. Like, okay, when I was like in 2008. So originally 2007. 2007 was the first year of my junior ABAs. And there was a kid going in it called Danny Phillips, and he'd won everything. Like, he was the kid like no one could beat. And I was struggling to get to 54, but I was too small for 57. And I remember my dad said to me, "You ain't doing 57 because the kid's too good for you." And I went, and Stewie Gill said the same thing. I went, "You know what? I'm going at 57 kilo, and I'll see how good he is." So I went, and I was quite fat. I wasn't, not fat, but I shouldn't have been 57 kilograms. I got to the final, and I was fighting Danny Phillips. And I thought, this is going to be a hard fight, because they told me it's going to be a hard fight. And I beat him 9-8. It was a hell of a fight, 2007. And I started fighting for England. But the England coach always said to me, "You're too small for 57 kilos. You shouldn't be 57. I said, "Well, I'm the number one, so I'm going to stay at this weight. I'm not killing myself to get down to 54.
Did they not try and think of doing a bit of strength conditioning to build you into the weight instead?
I don't think it was big, was it?
No, when you was fighting for England, you'd just get a call up, you'd go and do an England camp, and then you'd fly out and fight. But with the GB squad, it was a little bit different. When you was there, they had you under the control. Like, they'd feed you the right foods, put you right through the strength and conditioning. Right, it was a bit different from the England team. So I just grew into the weight from 2007 and stayed at 57. But I used to live the life, to be fair. I used to eat healthy. I didn't used to blow up. And where I was always fighting, the weight was always staying off me anyway. Mm-hmm. So there wasn't much of a gap.
What was I was going to say, you were going to say about your food and stuff in GB, so they sorted all that stuff out?
Everything was sorted, yeah. When we got there on a Monday, they had a box. I think it was, who was it? I'm not sure what the company was called, but the box food was there.
Like meal prep,
Meal prep, all done. All you got to do is put it in the microwave, done, like perfect for you. A lot of the boys, they'd still go out to Nando's and cinema and eat different stuff, but we was training hard. But yeah, it was all done, everything was done for us, so it was good.
That's so good, because obviously, like, for a lot of people that don't have that as a luxury,
a
lot of your day-to-day life, you're trying to deal with all those basic problems, whereas you've got everything laid out.
And that's what I said, on a GB, so everything's done for you, so it's good in a way. But when you leave it, then it's it's a shot. Like if you get a hand injury or a little injury on the squad, you got physio there straight away to take you straight to the hospital or get you an operation if you needed it, or to just sort the injury out. But
did you have many injuries?
No, I done 10 weeks before the Commonwealth Games. I was sparring Tom Roșca and I went over on my ankle and I tore 3 main ligaments in my ankle. So that was the only biggest injury I had, to be fair.
How long did it take to recover from that?
A couple of weeks, and then I was straight in. It was me or Luke Campbell getting chosen for the Commonwealth, and I thought, to be fair, I'm injured. I'm not going to be able to go. But they still picked me as the number 1, sent me to the Commonwealths. You know, I've done a lot of training in the pool, in the hydro pool and squad. So they've done everything for me, got me back up and ready. And you know, I probably could have been a little bit in better shape going to the Commonwealths, because you know, with the ankle I didn't do what I would normally do before a tournament. But you know, it is right.
It's part of life, though, isn't it?
How come you didn't go to the main Commonwealth Games?
I did.
Oh, you did go to the main Commonwealth. How did you get on in that one? I stopped the first kid, and then I drew the Akil Kumar, the kid that I beat in the Feds for a medal, and it was getting hyped up out there, like, because I've already beaten him. He's a blue-eyed boy out there, and you know what? I beat him fair and square, and they give it to the kid. They give it to Kumar.
Was that in India again?
In India again, and I see that one of the lads said I hit him, and the point went up for him, and I went ballistic after. I went ballistic, and said, like, you need to try it, because you can when you lose a fight you can appeal it. And I was like, can we appeal it? And he goes, there's no chance we're going to get the appeal in here, because you fought in India. There's no way. And you know, I think that was one of the 2 tournaments I never medalled in, so I was pretty disappointed. I went to 3 Commonwealths and I won 2 golds, and that one I got done in.
So did you take, obviously Luke Campbell was around that time, did you take his place?
I took his place at the Commonwealths, yeah. He didn't go.
Did you both compete? Did you have a box off or something, or was it?
Not for the Commonwealths? No, because I was at 57 at the time, so I was number 157. He just moved up. That was the first tournament I'd done at 56, and I didn't want to do any more after that.
Just before I go forward, just something that's come in my mind. Do you remember that boy that you beat, who you said was number 1 at 57? What was his name?
Danny Phillips.
What club was he from?
South Bank in Newcastle.
And what did you say to your dad and Stewie Gill after you won that fight?
Told you.
Is that what he said? He just told you.
And Stewie said, I only said that because I wanted you to train hard and do this, but he was a really good kid, and he got on the GB squad, and he won the Commonwealth Youth Games. Like he moved up after that, so he was the number 1, like at 60, won everything after we fought. He went to the Commonwealth Youth Games, won a gold medal. He got on the GB squad as well, the way above me.
Did he?
Yeah, so like, he was a really good kid.
Is he still? Did he box pro? Did he?
No, I think he had something wrong with his medical when he turned pro, so he couldn't fight as well.
It's a lot of talent. Well, obviously, it's a good thing. Yeah. But it's a lot of talent that can be lost through that.
Definitely, yeah.
So, what happened coming up to the 2012 Olympics with yourself? Obviously, such a good background.
Yeah, in 2010, obviously, the weight changed because the girls were introduced to the boxing, so they changed the weight. So my weight got cut, so I moved up to 60. And obviously, 2 years before the Olympics, it's not ideal because there's already a number 1 at 60. So I moved up, and it was between me and Martin J. Ward. So the first qualifiers he went to, which I knew he was going to go to, they said to me, we went in a meeting, they said, look, we're sending Martin to the first qualifiers, he's the number 1. If he doesn't qualify, we'll be sending you to the next one. So I said, perfect. They said, just keep winning. So I went to 4 tournaments at 60 kilograms and I won 4 medals. I went to Ukraine and won a silver. I got beat off the Ukraine in the final by a point. I went to Hungary, got beat off a Hungarian in the final by 1 point. I went to Bulgaria, got beat off a Bulgarian in the final by 1 point. That's like, this is crazy. But
what do you think of the point scoring system? Because it's all changed now, isn't it?
It's all changed now, yeah. The computer scoring was good. Just when you're fighting the home fighters, it can be a little bit biased.
Because you would expect it to be less biased when you can see the points, especially if you're watching on telly with point scoring. I think it's fair and square when you see like clear shots.
When they come back to the corner, that's when they used to give you the scores. Like when you sit down, they'd tell you the scores. But in the 2012, like after that tournament, I went to Bulgaria. I boxed Joe Cordina, beat Joe Cordina. I beat the world bronze medalist. I beat the Russian that died in America in the professional, Maximus. I think it was second name. He died in a pro fight. No, yeah, a couple of years ago. He was the world silver medalist in the youths. Russian, I beat him. So I had a really good tournament, so I was quite confident I was going to go to the second qualifiers.
Was that all at 60 as well?
All at 60, yeah. So I was quite confident. They already told me previous, if Martin doesn't qualify, we'll send you. So Martin went in to get told if he was going or not, which I knew he wasn't going to go because he's been in and he failed. And he came out and went the other way, didn't say anything, so I thought he obviously hasn't been chosen. So when I sat in, they went, "Oh, we're not going to send you." And I went, "So who are you going to send?" They said, "Sam Maxwell." And to be fair, I was a bit shocked and disappointed, to be fair, because Sam was a big 60 kilo lad. He only been on the squad previously like 3 or 4 months. And they did say to me, like, "You haven't been at the weight long enough. Like, we don't think you need to grow into the weight a little bit more. So we're going to send Sam." But I've been to 4 tournaments, medals in 4 tournaments. So
how did Sam do?
He got beat. He lost. Josh Taylor went as well. He qualified. So it was a bit of a sickener, to be fair. So when I think about the GB squad, it's sort of bittersweet because I had a brilliant time when I was on there, travelled the world, won some great medals, been to some great places, but then just feel like I got a little bit done over there, to be fair.
Why do you think? Do you reckon it was just because of size that Sam Maxwell got chosen?
Well, that's what they said. Because I was begging to move up to 60 kilograms for a while, and they said, "No, you can make it. You can make it." Like, but there's making it and performing at it. So I should have moved up. And they did say that maybe we should have moved you up a little bit sooner. They wanted me to stay on for the next Commonwealth and that, and I thought, nah, after you've promised me I'd go to these qualifiers, I just thought I deserved it. I thought I earned it. I went to, like I said, I've medalled every tournament I went to by the Commonwealth, I medalled in.
So when did you then decide to go pro?
Straight away, I told them in the meeting I'd be turning pro, I won't be staying on.
And how did that go? Was that?
They said, "Yeah, it's fine. Like, we'd like you to stay, have a think about it." And I said, "There's nothing to think about. I've been here 5 years. I did all I could do. The only next step for me would have been the Olympics." But you know, I truly think now it was meant to be. You know, I wasn't meant to box. You know, I did what I had to do. I achieved quite a lot, but I don't think I was meant to box, to be fair, like in the professionals.
Well, you don't think you were meant?
I don't think so. I think everything was always telling me not to. Like I said, I got to, I think, out of the 9 silvers that I won, or the 8 silvers for the country, I think I lost to the home boxer by a point nearly every final. Wow. You know, things...
Really, you should have got a deal then, really, when you went pro.
When I went pro, I had a really fantastic
deal. You had a good deal?
I signed with Eddie Matchroom.
Wow, so...
Yeah, straight away.
Why did it go against you then?
Because I was born with an arachnoid cyst in my head, which I didn't know about till I turned pro. So, I think...
So what is that, sorry?
A cyst, you know, like it's just a normal little cyst. You know, I had one in my brain, so they wouldn't give me a British licence.
And you only found that out during like the brain scan?
Yeah, during the brain scan to get for my first debut. I was made a debut in the Alexander Palace on the Tony Bellew undercard. So that's when I found that out. But I just think, and America licensed me fine. So I'd say if all them finals that I got to and I would have won the gold, I would, and things would have worked out a little bit different, I probably would have gone to the qualifiers. Or I would have done if they've all been gold. I would have gone to the qualifiers, and I probably would have qualified, and I would have had my options open a little bit more to go to America, and I probably would have signed to go to. It was always my dream to sign with a big promoter in America.
What promoter?
Probably Golden Boy or Top Rank. Would have been nice. But
that was the Amir Khan, the presence that he had over there with Golden Boy.
I just liked America. Like we always travel to America every Christmas. We go to America. I just loved the American. I just loved being in America.
What part of America do you go?
Orlando. Yeah, I like Orlando. Yeah, and we've been to Vegas. I've been to Vegas and LA a few times. But and I boxed. We went on the GB squad. We done a month out there, like boxing like the top 4 Americans, which was good. But like I said, I think if I would have gone to the Olympics, I maybe could have gone.
It would open up your options.
Yeah, I would have gone to America. No one would have questioned my medical because I went to America, got my medicals proven fine. You know, and I could be sitting here a bit different today.
So what happened? So you signed with Eddie Hearn?
Yeah.
Was that before your medical or
yeah,
after?
Before signed the medical, signed the contract, got the deal sorted, got my debut sorted, went for the medicals, and I think it's the 1st of September, a week before. I was meant to debut on the 8th of September, and on the 1st of September they said there's been a finding in your MRI scan that we won't be licensed, and you go and seek other medical, like go and see your specialist, see what they say, see what they come back with. And every specialist that I went to see, they always said, yeah, we would license you, it won't cause you any problem. But the British board, they just,
I guess it's on them as well.
Yeah, it's on them, of course it is, and they wasn't happy to license me, so,
So when did you have your debut then, when it all got resolved?
And who did you go with?
I went on a Malta licence.
Okay.
Yeah, Malta licence. And I ended up debuting in London on a Malta licence on a foreign show. But
was it under Eddie Hearn again? Or was
no, Eddie Hearn had nothing to. He couldn't. His hands were tied. He couldn't have anything to do with me, because obviously the British board wouldn't have been happy with. They didn't want me fighting, which was fair enough. But I went to Malta on a foreign licence and had my debut there, and then I went out to the States, which it's pretty hard going to the States if, like in England, people knew who I was and what I'd won, but in America it's a bit different, so you always sort of the away fighter, so it's a bit harder. But I had my second fight in America in LA and won by second round knockout.
With what gym? Who was you training with?
I was training with in the Flash gym in LA. What was his name? George Diaz, which he was a good coach, and I was training in the Wildcard gym as well for 3 months, which is good.
And who was the boys there then when you were training?
Who did I train with out there? I sparred Sergey Limpich, was the welterweight world champion at welterweight 147. Who else was there? There was Denis Rakakov, which was the Russian kid that boxed for a world title. There was just a gym full of fighters that in LA when you go there in the wildcard. They just.
Did you meet Manny Pacquiao out there?
No, I didn't actually. He wasn't there. No, when I went to the Mayweather gym, I was out there for a couple of weeks when Mayweather fought Pacquiao.
Oh, so did you meet Mayweather?
I met Mayweather out there.
Was
yeah,
he?
Yeah, he's right. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, we was with a lot with Roger and. Roger
yes.
Mayweather.
Okay.
Yeah, we was with him quite a bit and doing a bit of training out there with him.
Was he alright with you?
Yeah, he was good gold. Yeah, he was good.
He seems like
he was good.
And what was it like for yourself going into the pro games? You said off air that training for Team GB was just like training like a professional anyway. So was you quite comfortable with the...
I was comfortable because I always got better as the fight went on. So 3 rounds weren't quite enough for me in the amateurs. So I knew the more rounds would have been better for me. I could slow my feet down a little bit, and it wouldn't be such a rush. I could pick my shots a little bit better. So the pros always suited me. So yeah, for me it was fine switching over. The turnover from amateur to pro was good.
And who would you say was the main coach in your pro career that managed to help you adapt?
Well, when I first turned pro, I turned pro with Al Smith at the iBox gym where I'm training as a trainer now. So that's where I was for the first few years, because Al suited my style. He's a fantastic coach for my sort of style, or for any style, but he's a fantastic coach.
And what would you say your style is to people?
Slick southpaw, like a counter puncher, yeah, but I can have a tear up if I need to. Sometimes I used to and I didn't need to, but yeah, I said a slick counter puncher. So I was with Al Smith for a couple of years, and my dad's been a part of it from when I first started. He's always been there, and he had quite a big part of it in the pros as well.
He was coaching you as well?
He used to take me abroad and do my corner for me, yeah.
Great.
The amount of stories we hear of just like the parents' influence, like some of the best athletes or just people in general that you meet, like their parents have been so on it their whole life. It
was always like, to be fair, it was just boxing in my family. Like my mum was a judge. My dad was a trainer.
For you, in any fights?
No.
Yeah, I bet you was.
That's why I won everything. Yeah. But no, my mum was a judge. My dad was a trainer, and obviously he opened his amateur gym and he had a boxing ring business. So everything was just boxing. If I wasn't training, I was at a boxing show or putting up a ring or watching it on the telly. So, but it was boxing.
Your dad did the video recording as well, didn't he?
He probably videoed every kid.
Yeah.
Like over the last few years, like he's got everyone.
And I remember at shows that used to pack away the ring as well.
Yeah,
and
fair play, especially some of the shows finish late.
Yeah, so it was always the first in, last out. Always, it It's been boxing mad for years. So.
And you always took your time out to speak to people as well. From what
I try to. Like, I'm just a normal lad.
Did you analyse a lot of fights?
I used to watch boxing quite a bit.
With your dad?
Not really, no, because he's always busy. Like, he was doing the videos, but I used to sit down and analyse a lot of it. Yeah.
Who was your favourite fighter?
Pernell Whitaker. Stick Southpaw, yeah, Pernell Whitaker. I just love watching him. Or, you know, I didn't mind watching De La Hoya. Obviously, Floyd Mayweather's defence is unreal. But yeah, Pernell Whitaker was my favourite.
Yeah. And who was, going back to the amateurs quickly, who was the hardest fight you had? I know you said it's quite hard to pick.
It is quite hard to pick because, like, every tournament you'd go to, you'd always, like, if you knew, like, the European countries, something, if you're a Russian or a Bulgarian or Azerbaijan, you're always in for a tough fight. You know, I went to Ukraine to box a tough Ukrainian, you know, so each fight was tough. But that fight I said with Danny Phillips, you know, that was a tough fight.
I'm interested, what was tough fighting the Russians and the Ukrainians? What did you find tough about it?
They're just tough men. Like, sometimes you hit people and they sort of back off a little bit and gives you a little bit of time. They don't stop, and they're well schooled. All they do is train. They've done it from babies, so you know you're in for a hard night. You know they're fit. You know they're talented. You know, so that's why GB do so well, because they got a great setup in Sheffield, and they train like professionals. That's all they do. They live and breathe boxing, and they're exactly the same with the Russians and the Ukrainians. They do exactly the same. So they're just as fit, just as talented, so you know you're in for a scrap either way. But so yeah, it's pretty hard to pick one, but Danny Phillips was a tough fight, to be fair.
And what about in the pros? So when did you decide to
you're
pack
12
it all
pros,
in?
right?
14
pro
fights in the end.
What was your record?
I won 12, knocked out 10 and lost 2, but my last one that I lost, I got cut. I went to Texas and boxed for an American title. I was boxing the Texas, American kid in Texas, home favourite, and I was doing alright for 4 rounds. To be fair, I thought I was winning. I was just starting to get to him. It was an 8-round fight. I was just starting to get to him. He was like, you know, when they're making noises in close and wincing, you think, yeah, I'm getting to him. And he threw a wild left hook. I remember he threw a wild left hook, missed me, but he followed through and just caught my eyelid, and my eye was it was starting to close because he caught me with a good jab in the first round, so it was a little bit swollen beforehand. But with the elbow, just completely cut it. Give me 13 stitches, completely shut it.
Have you still got a mark on there?
Just a little one. I've got the photo.
Oh, yeah.
I've got the photo of on my phone. But it was like my eye was completely shut. It was like the Elephant Man. It was massive.
How was it like getting stitches on that?
It was quite sore, to be fair, and they give me morphine out there. But the reason I knocked it on the head as well, my dad said it was terrible. After the fight out there, they're like, here's the letter you need. The hospital's here, get a taxi. So you sort of just left to your own devices. Do you know what I mean? It's boxing. It can be hard work, and that's why I thought boxing abroad. Got a little girl at home. I don't need to be doing this. But yeah, I lost that on the cut, and they give it to the kid. It should have been a no contest really, because I think it was in the 4th round.
Yeah, usually it is within the first 4.
Because they said it was a punch, which it wasn't. But and the other fight I lost was in New York. I went and boxed a kid in his backyard. I lost a split on my 5th fight. I boxed a 10-0 kid. It was a big risk really. I lost a split decision, but again, the commentators on there said Weaver's won it. Howard Lenneman was there. He thought I'd won it. The promoter got in the ring, started going like mad, shouting and screaming.
Still not good enough though, is it? Nah, it's like you keep seeing it in.
It happens.
Everyone can moan all they want.
Yeah, it happens. But yeah, that was a big blow. So the 2 fights I lost, I should never have lost in the pros. But my pro career weren't great. It was hard work, you know.
It just shows in the pros, no matter how talented you are, you still need that backing.
Yeah.
You need still to be guided in that route.
Yeah.
Still having a clear plan of what you want to achieve at the.
You need the right people behind you.
You need the right people behind you, no matter how talented you are.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, like the promoter wanted to sign me in New York, and before the fight, he's like, "Give me the contract, like, have a read through." You know, I'm not the greatest. I can read and write. I'm good, but when it comes to contracts and that, I'm just.
Did you not have a lawyer, anyone like that too?
I didn't sign the contract. My manager was meant to be flying out there, but he is having problems with his visa. So he said to me before, "Do not sign anything till I get there, or I've said it's okay. And I said okay. So I said to him, listen, I'm not signing anything before the fight. We'll have a chat after. I didn't think he liked it. So afterwards, he was counting my money out to my dad, and he said, do you know the reason you lost? And my dad goes, yeah, go on, because you didn't sign the contract. And I was like, just after getting beat, first pro loss in New York, it was Newark, New Jersey, in New York. I thought, what can you do? What can you do? Nothing. So
it can be a horrible game, can't it?
It can be.
Unfortunately, it can.
To be fair, from 2012 to the day I retired, I had it rough, like in the pros. To be fair, like it wasn't great. But I believe everything happens for a reason. You know, through boxing, I met my other half. I've had my little girl, and you know, I'd go through it all.
How did you meet her?
She was a ring girl for Frank Warren.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I think I was in, where was I? I was in Mauritius on a warm weather training camp for GB, and I had a message through from this girl, and she said, I've got you some tickets for the pro fight the weekend. I think it was Lee Selby, and who was Lee Selby? Lee Selby was fighting someone, I'm not sure who it was. And I went, nah, they're not for me. I'm in Mauritius, I'm not coming. And she went, oh, like the trainers asked me to get you some tickets, because I think he wanted me. There was Wayne Batten from Southampton, so I think like he knew I was sort of nearly on the verge of turning professional. Maybe he was trying to sweeten me out, I'm not sure. But I said, nah, they might be from mum and dad. And from there, like, I just start messaging, you know, I just start messaging and meeting up and go from there. But yeah, I met her through boxing. I've had my little girl, and you know, I'd go through it all again just for my little girl and my missus, you know what I mean? So to me, it was all worth it. But I just truly believe everything happens for a reason. So
and the experiences you've got, and how you've turned as a coach as well.
Yeah.
You're such a young coach, and that's such a big thing now.
Yeah.
All of the successful coaches are all so young.
Yeah.
So for you to have that and be at the iBox gym now, how's that going? How did that all happen?
Well, when I retired my last fight, 2019, I said that's me done with boxing. You know, I didn't watch it. I didn't want anything to do with it. My dad had an amateur gym at the time. He's like, oh, we've got a few good kids. Like, I said, no, I don't want anything to do with it, Dad. I don't want to be in a gym. I don't want to help out. It's just me. I've had enough. You know, I lived my life, went on a few holidays, family time, went out with my mates, had a few beers. You know, just living a normal life without boxing. And when was it? I think it was the AJ Usyk fight. Everyone was... No, sorry, it wasn't. It was the Joe Joyce, Daniel Dubois. I knew Daniel Dubois was never going to beat Joe Joyce. I just knew it. I didn't
crazy
think
how much
it was
people
so
say.
early. It was so early.
Yeah.
And I like having a little bit of a bet. Like my father-in-law's a professional gambler, but like on the dogs and that, I like having a bet. So when I seen the price for Joe Joyce, I thought
3-1, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was 7-2. I was like, there's no chance he can get beat. Yeah, so it was the same night Roy Jones and Mike Tyson had their exhibition.
Oh, was it that night?
Yeah, so I was looking at the odds, and I had a bet on Joe Joyce, and I thought that they was betting for Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. I thought, but it's an exhibition; it can only be a draw. So I had a double. I had Mike Tyson to draw and Joe Joyce to win by stoppage, and I won a right few quid. So I went round to my mates, watched the boxing.
Yeah, you're right, mate. How you doing?
Yo,
Yeah, mate.
just really quickly, we've got Amigos. Thank you very much, guys. Just dropping over the food. Our sponsors,
burritos.
guys. Thank you very much for dropping that off. Hey guys, don't forget to check out our local sponsors, Amigos Portsmouth. They're open noon till 10 p.m. delivering some of the most favourite Mexican feasts that are available.
So if you hit this link here and use the code NJB, you'll get 20% off. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, so I went round my mates, and that's the first time I sat down and watched it, because I had a bet on it, I wanted to watch it. Yeah, that was the first fight, like since my last fight, that I wanted to sit down and watch. And I got the buzz back, so the big fight, I got a bit of a buzz back. So
it was a good fight as
well,
well,
wasn't it? It was a brilliant fight, yeah, it was really good. And then obviously AJ was boxing Usyk, and you know, I just started watching it again at home, watching the pro fights, and my missus said, "You're starting to get the buzz back for boxing, ain't you?" I said, "Yeah, but I don't want to box again, not in that way, but I wouldn't mind like trying my hand and maybe training them." And she said, "Yeah, well, why don't you do something like that?" So I thought, and I just left it for a couple of months watching. I was still watching the fights and every weekend, and I started talking to Eddie Lamb again, from the iBox gym, because I was down there for a few years, and he said, why don't you come up and see the boys and just come in the gym and say hello? I said, I would love to like get my coaching licence, and he said, well, why don't you speak to Al? We'd love to have someone of your experience in the gym, it'd be great for the boys, but obviously you'd have to speak to Al. So I rang Al, and he went, yeah, not a problem, we'd love to have you come down, we'll have a chat. I went down there, first night I went in there, he put me straight on the pads with Henry Turner, who's a fantastic young talent coming through. Got on really well with him on the pads.
Was it weird being back in the gym?
It was, yeah, it was, like, because nothing had changed. The gym was exactly the same.
Did it all come back to you, like, in your head?
Yeah, like when I was watching the sparring and that, but I didn't miss it, because I think that's what my missus and my dad that were worried about, if I went back in the gym, that I'd miss, like, getting in there and fighting. Mm-hmm. But I didn't miss that at all. It was just nice to be on the other side, telling them what to do, seeing mistakes that they was making. So after the first session, Al said, yeah, go for your licence, start helping out. And I said, fantastic. So I rang the British board, got a meeting with them, but it was for months. I think it was just in October that I went for it. So like, I rang up, and I've only just done it now. So it was a long time I was in the gym. I went to, what show did I go to? I went to Liverpool, we had a kid boxing, or they had a kid boxing on the matchroom bill. So it was good to be back around the matchroom boys, and I like seeing Eddie and again. Just being back in that environment, it was good. And you know, I done my first corner last night at the MTK show with Piers O'Leary, who's
at York Hall.
At York Hall, yeah. I think he's going to be the next big thing coming through. To be fair,
What, Piers O'Leary?
Piers O'Leary from Ireland, but also Elliot Wells on the bill, who's a fantastic prospect, a 6-0 kid. So the gym's brilliant, and I feel quite lucky to be able to get my licence and be in, if not the best gym in the country, the best up and coming gym in the country.
There's so many prospects in there. Yeah, do you want to name some?
Yeah, we've got.
Don't miss anyone, mate.
I know. Yeah. Well, we've got Archie Sharp, the WBO ranked number 1. We've got Dennis McCann, who's everybody knows Dennis. He's fantastic.
Is he sponsored by Haribo yet?
Not yet, I don't think, but I don't think Al wants him to, because you know, he keeps going.
Not a smart one.
Yeah, it's putting too much weight on. But yeah, you've got Dennis McCann, we've got Henry Turner, we've got CJ, his name's Keithan Aguilera from Ireland, who's a matchroom prospect, unbeaten. We've got Piers O'Leary, we've got Elliot Well, we've got Mikey Burke, we've got Sky Nicholson, who's obviously making waves at the minute in the women's boxing. We've got a young lad there called Levi Coates, who he hasn't got his pro licence. He has got his pro licence, but he had an injury as soon as he got it, so he hasn't had his first pro contest yet. But he's fantastic. There's so many of them. Who else is left?
Surprising the gym
I've stitched you up here, ain't I? There's so many big names.
Eddie said the other day, we've got 12, 13 lads in the gym. I was like, have we got that many? But we have. Who else is there? There's got to be others. Piers O'Leary, Elliot Well,
Sam Noakes.
We've got Sam Noakes, who's a wrecking machine. Mm-hmm. He just goes through everyone. Yeah, so
I bet there's some spars that go on that no one will ever see.
Yeah, fantastic.
Probably better than what you see on the O2.
Yeah, you've got fantastic spars.
From your area, from that, how do you reckon the standard of the boxing? Do you reckon it's gone up? Or do you reckon it's?
Yeah, I think it's gone. I think it's just got bigger. Boxing's massive at the minute. Every weekend you've got 1 or 2 shows, like different TV shows. I think 2012 team, the squad that I was on, that was a fantastic team. And then 2016 team, that was a brilliant team with the McCormack brothers, Joe Cordina.
Obviously it was all rigged,
Fraser
the
Clark.
Rio Games, wasn't it?
Yeah, with Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce he should have had the gold, apparently, like they're saying now, shouldn't they?
Are they cutting the Olympics in, is it like 2026 or
apparently,
something, right?
Like the next one.
2024, yeah, boxing's been removed from what I've...
After the next one.
Is it after the next one?
There's one more Olympics, yeah.
Like, there's so many people, boxing in the Olympics is like, it's always number 1. It's
it's brilliant, I think it's brilliant, but I don't know if they might remove it, but I hope they don't.
But you know how corrupt it is because you've been on the wrong side of it.
It's been there for years. The thing is, it can be corrupt. Boxing is corrupt, especially in the amateurs. So I don't know if they cut it or not.
I hope
they
not.
don't. Yeah, I hope not.
Especially because all the up and coming talent, that's their ticket to a good pro career.
Yeah.
And even in Cuba now, they've now got
They're allowed to go pro. Yeah.
Allowed to go pro.
Yeah.
So that's massive.
Yeah.
Just to see them.
It is.
But then now they're allowed to go pro. Like, how's that going to go with them, with their team? And I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. Maybe it opens up more chances for other people to win medals, like in the UK in the GB squad.
Yeah.
But look, obviously, we said about the talent. You said about the talent at your gym as well.
Yeah.
Are you? Which ones are you specifically working with?
I help work. I just try and get in the gym, and whoever needs anything doing, if they need pads, I help them with pads.
Amazing.
I just go in and do what Al says. Al says pad, so and so.
And is it time slot that they all come into the gym?
Yeah, they normally, Al puts it in the group chat what times they'll be training, so it's normally like 3:30, 3:45, like 4. So they start off, they're always 15 minutes ahead.
And is that a one-to-one session they get with the coaches?
No,
or
so normally it'd be we'd have a couple in at a time. There's 4 coaches, so it's me, Al Smith, Eddie Lamb, and Paul Taylor.
Great.
So
Is that like a Monday to Friday thing?
They do a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then normally on a Tuesday they'll be with their strength coach, and Thursday they'll be doing track. So yeah, but the gym's buzzing at the minute, you know.
Are you working alongside that, or is that your full-time job?
No. I'm working. I'm working for a construction company, Dual Gen 1. So they're pretty good.
Are you looking to go full time in coaching in the future, or?
At the minute, I'm just enjoying doing the little bits that I'm doing, going to the shows again, helping boys out. You know, in the future I might, you know, have my own gym.
And what's your style of coaching in the gym? Like, obviously, we were saying off air as well, turning from the amateurs to the pros.
Yeah.
It's such a big transition. How do you have your part in that?
For me, I just try and work on what they're good at and what they're not so good at. So what they're not so good at, we try and work on. You know, so I just, like, everyone's got a different style. Like Dennis McCann, Elliot Well, Henry Turner. They're all that sort of my style, southpaw, slick. So it's easy for me to work with them, but then when I go to work with someone like Sam Noakes or Pierce O'Leary, they're just wrecking machines. You know, that wasn't my style. So I try and help them with the stuff they're not so good at, maybe a little bit defence stuff, or just stuff that I was good at, that I'm just trying to help them out with something they're not so good at, or things they are good at, just getting them better at.
And I guess now you've got the buzz of boxing again, but without the stress and all the...
Without the making weight, about that, the training twice a day, 3 times a day, and missing out on things, and so it's definitely prefer being on this side of the ring and inside. Yeah.
They got some great fights coming up now. Obviously, you've got Spence Villegas.
That's tonight, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got the
What's your
boxer
prediction?
show.
What's your prediction on that?
I think Spence beats him. I think he's fantastic. Spence, when I went to America with the GB squad, he was fighting against the American, against us. He was at 64. I think he boxed Craig Dixonson, or maybe Scott Carter, one of them. But yeah, even back then, you just knew he was talented. But I think Spence wins.
Ugas looks massive at that weight.
But his eye injury, how has that would have affected him?
I'm not sure. He's had one fight since then, hasn't he?
Danny Garcia.
Yeah.
He had the eye injury after. So he had the car crash, had Danny Garcia, and then had the eye injury.
Yeah.
Dropped out of Pacquiao, and now this is him back.
I think he beats Ugas personally. If he's got anything
I
left,
think it'll be close.
Him.
Personally, I think it'll be quite close.
Ugas got beat by Khan in the amateurs as well, didn't he?
Yeah, Ugas was a really good amateur. Yeah, he was a good amateur. So, but if he's anything like his old self, I think Spence should beat him. But all depends what that car accident and the eye injury's done to him.
Exactly that, yeah. We were saying as well for the Fury bill, we're gutted that the undercard, they're like, why some of the boys that you've mentioned in your gym, like, it's such a shame that they can't be on that world
stage.
We're
a little bit gutted, to be fair, that they're not on. But to be fair, Dennis, Sam and Henry, they all boxed not long ago. So for them to box straight away again, maybe it could have happened. It could have happened, but you know.
It's what. Obviously, you're in that gym. Is it more that the boys said that they didn't want it, or was it that it wasn't given the opportunity?
I think if they would, I think after Sam injured his hand a little bit before that last fight. So he boxed the last fight. His hand was a little bit injured.
I'm not surprised the amount of power he's got in his shots.
Yeah, he punches extremely hard. But it was the last spar off the camp, and he just banged it a little bit and bruised it a little bit. But so I don't think he would have been able to fight on the Fury belt so soon after.
Even Anthony Yarde was saying, I know he's not in your gym, but he's probably not going to be out till the summer.
No, I think they're waiting for, is it the Joe Smith and Berbatov? Is it? I think they're waiting for the winner of that.
We were saying during the week, I think they're going to wait till December.
Yeah.
Because they're fighting July.
Yeah.
And they're going to have...
It'd be Berbatov it'd be fighting, I would have thought.
Yeah, he looks...
He was in the Europeans when I won the European silver.
What was he like?
He was a machine.
Even
I think he smashed everyone in the Europeans on the way to gold. He was a machine. And back then, I think it was him and Usyk. They had some wicked fights back in, I think it was a couple they won.
Oh, those two boxed as well?
Yeah.
What was the Usyk box at light heavy as well?
Yeah, he boxed. He was light heavy. Yeah, he wasn't never heavyweight as an amateur. Well, he was, but he was light heavy, and then he moved up heavy.
Was it cruiserweight he moved up to?
It was cruiser.
Yeah.
But I think it was 81. He boxed at, and then 91, and then 91 plus.
What weight did he box Joyce at?
91 plus in the WSB.
They went super heavy.
Yeah.
Seeing in the amateurs at 57, 60, did you ever box Lemachenko?
No. No.
Glad.
No, to be fair, I went to Ukraine when I first went to 60 kilograms. I went there and the boys said, imagine if Lemachenko said, and I thought, you know what, I've got to try.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have bothered me to fight him. I'd have fought him. It was not a problem fighting him.
Would have been a blessing to share the ring.
And I thought I would have done all right, I think personally. But I went there and I looked on the name and said Lemachenko. I thought, he's here, so I'll be fighting him. But it was the weight, he moved up to 64. So I thought,
really?
so that's all right. And to be fair, at that tournament, I got a silver. I got beat by a point in the final by Ukraine. But they give me best boxer of the tournament and $1,000. So I said, I lost, but I got best boxer of the tournament and money. So obviously I knew I didn't lose, so I won it comfortably. But he didn't seem too happy when and you mean getting the best boxer?
Who, Lemachenko?
He got best home fighter, but I think I got best international. He went he looked like he wanted to punch me when we was in the ring getting the trophies. But he's not very big.
Is he your height or is he smaller?
No, he's smaller than me.
Is he smaller than you?
He's smaller than me.
Especially seeing him up against Lopez.
He's fantastic though, isn't he? Or he was. He's getting a little. I think he's getting on a little bit now. But he's
had injuries, like his shoulder. He couldn't really throw hooks properly. He's had it tough, I think. In the pros.
His record is unmatched though.
Brilliant. He boxed Andrew Selby.
399 maybe.
And one, and
he
lost to Albert Selimov,
and he avenged
it. That Selimov's really good.
When you saw, I guess you saw Lemachenko quite a few times in the amateurs.
Yeah.
What did you think of him back then?
It was brilliant. And in that tournament, after my fight, I watched him. I think he stopped all 3 kids that week at 64 kilos. So he was fantastic. He was.
What would you say his weaknesses were back then? When you were sizing him up as an opponent, what did you think of?
I was just going to get in there and throw. To be fair, that's all you could do with him.
Just make it a dog
just get in there, just whatever I could, my best. I just gone and done exactly what I knew I could do, and if that was enough, it would have been enough. And if it wasn't, then it wasn't. But I used to get in the ring and just do what I was good at. I didn't really care too much what they was going to do. They used to do watch the videos of what we should and what we shouldn't do. But 9 times out of 10, what you think they're going to do, they do something different anyway. So as long as I got in there and done what I was good at, that's all I worried about doing.
Yeah, so. I think as well the mental pressure he puts on people. If you were to think the way, even when he doesn't throw, the way he's in your face all the time, if you were to think it's probably going to go against you. So I think that's quite.
He was so talented what he done. You couldn't hit him, and when he did throw a punch, he'd catch you with 3. So he was really talented. I know he boxed Andrew Selby years ago. I think he stopped him on the. I think he stopped Selby, and not many people stop him.
Yeah.
So I think he did.
Wow, that's a good memory. It's I didn't realise he moved up to 64 as well. So he moved across the weights.
He moved to 57, 60, 64. Yeah, he moved across, but it was in his backyard, in the Ukraine, so he could do whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
But just going back to, we've got Jordan Reynolds as well in the gym, which he's out of an injury at the minute. But he's another great prospect coming through. He was on the GB squad and senior ABA champion.
The Wanderer.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
that's the
yeah.
one.
The one he likes so Elvis, doesn't he?
That's
Is it that
him,
one?
yeah, he's another good kid.
He's a good kid.
Yeah,
He looks like he can bang. Yeah.
he can punch a bit, yeah. But he's had a little injury, so he's been out for the last... He hasn't been in the gym for the last month, so he'll be back soon.
He's had some tough fights already, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves getting
was
in
he in
and having a
Ireland
tear
at a gym before you guys?
Yeah, he was, with Paul Taylor. It's not Paul Taylor, is it?
Pete
Taylor.
Taylor.
Pete Taylor.
Yeah.
With him.
Katie Taylor's dad.
That's the one, yeah. So, yeah.
And would you say he's still... I'm pretty sure one of the fights I saw, he got dragged into a fight when he didn't have to.
Yeah, but that's him. That's Jordan. Like, he likes to have a scrap. That's how he was on the GB squad. But with Al, he's learned... I think that was his first fight that you might have seen when he got dragged into a bit of a fight. I think now with Al, he's started to... He's a brilliant boxer when he wants to be. He just likes having a scrap.
Mm-hmm.
But
also in the pro game, I think that's going to sell a lot of tickets.
Yeah, he does sell a lot of tickets.
Yeah.
But
He's done a few TV appearances, hasn't he?
yeah, he has. Yeah, I think he was on. Is it just First Dates or something on that?
Yeah.
I think I might have seen that. I was
Yeah.
like, no
I've
way.
seen
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he'd done that, but yeah, he's meant to fight on the Matchroom card just before Christmas, and he picked up an injury, so he couldn't fight on that. But yeah, he can fight, he can box, he can do both when he needs to be fair. But so far in the pros, he's just chosen to have a bit of a fight.
Nice. So,
Yeah.
just to finish off, can we have some quick fire questions at you?
Of course, yeah.
Well, Dave, do you want to start?
You can start, mate.
Okay. Well, in your gym, who do you reckon is going to be first one to get the world strap?
Well, you get Dennis McCann. That he's got all the ability in the world to win a world title. You've got CJ, who's just moved down to light middleweight, who's possibility of winning a world title as well. Pierce O'Leary is one to watch out for, but you've got Sky Nicholson, who probably could end up fighting for a world title pretty soon.
Yeah, she's been fast tracked big time. We were saying it's like 3 fights in 2 months.
Yes,
really.
yeah, she's got another fight soon, so she could fight for a world title pretty soon. But you got Archie sitting at the WBO #1, so he could get a call to get the winner out of Stevenson's and Valdez. So
that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, it'd be a great possibility for him.
Yeah, so whether he picks it up or not, that's a tough fight. But he's got the ability to win a title.
Do you think he would take it if they asked him to go to
Of course he
America?
would, yeah, definitely. I think Archie, he'll fight anyone.
Waiting for the call.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, and I got one. Hardest puncher in the gym.
It'd be Pierce O'Leary or Sam Noakes.
Sounds
And they're both different. Like Sam's had 9-1-9, knocked out 9,
Yeah, mate.
and they just don't like it. He just retires and they just sort of give up.
He looks like I see him on the pads. He looks.
He's physically strong. Everything's just strong about him. But then you've got Pierce O'Leary. He can just hit you and switch your lights out like that. Like
What is Pierce O'Leary?
he's 10 stone, so light welter.
Light welter.
So last night, first round knockout he had last night, he just hit the kid and switched his lights off. And he does it to a lot of people.
Is he southpaw? Did you say?
He's both.
Both.
Yeah, Pierce
True,
is
yeah.
both. Yeah, he switched. Yeah. So it's out of those two, to be fair, who can punch.
Yeah, well,
I'd say.
I went to the same school as Midge, and one of my close mates sparred him at Westry, and he said my mate had so much weight on him anyway. He said when he got hit by him in the ribs, that was it.
Yeah, he punches, but it's everything about him's just strong as well. Like, and he's relentless, and he's an athlete. He can run a mile, and God knows it. Like,
And a
pretty
marathon
quick.
in a good time too.
He's just he's just an athlete.
Mm-hmm. Do you reckon he'll go far?
Yeah, I think he will. You know, he lives a life. He trains really hard, and he's got a good promoter and good management.
He's knocking on the door now with the Southampton lad. What's his name?
Mark Chamberlain.
Yeah,
that would be good for an English title.
yeah. I think it'd be bigger than English. To be
I
fair.
think British.
Bigger.
Yeah, I
British,
think it'd be
sorry.
British. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, to be fair, that's quite a hard fight for an English title. So I don't think Mark would want it for an English, and I know Al wouldn't want it for an English.
I don't think Frank would too.
No,
Yeah.
no, he'd definitely set it up for maybe like a British or something like that.
Do you think that will happen soon?
I reckon in the next 18 months. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that would be huge.
Yeah. It'd be a good
Who's
fight.
the most talented? Would you say just got the gift?
You know what? It's a really. Everyone asks me this, and I think it's quite a hard one to pick because everyone in the gym, if you name a name, there's talent. You've got Henry Turner, who's just a fantastic boxer. You know, Elliot Well, Dennis McCann's he's just naturally gifted, but I think it's quite hard to pick one. I think
hardest worker.
I'd say, you know what? They all work hard. But Dennis is always like, he's always in the gym. He stays in the gym. Like even when the other boys are finished, he's in there. So he trains. He's always training. So he trains really hard. But again, they all train hard. And Al doesn't have many kids in the gym if they don't put the work in. So I'd say at iBox gym, they all put the work in. They all put the graft in. To be fair, they're always fit. They're always living their life. So I say the whole of iBox gym, they're just all of them.
It's completely different to a lot of pro gyms. A lot of pro gyms, you just got that one star, and he'll do whatever. But with you guys, obviously, they
can all be, they all get treated the same, and I think they're all ability-wise, they're all as good as each other. Like
and the good thing is to say iron sharpens iron, right?
Yeah, and that's
you all get better at
the sparring in there is just fantastic. Like,
what's the best spar you've seen in there?
Who did I see spar the other day? Dennis always has wicked spars because he's the lightest one, so he's always sparring like Sam Noakes and Pierce O'Leary, like so he gets stuck into him. But Al tries not to have too much of a hard spar, so they're always going like 60% when they spar.
That's smart.
It's all learning, isn't it? That's where it should be.
Yeah, so the spars when they spar each other, it's more of a learning and technical spar to learn different things.
Do you get any outsiders coming in?
We get lots of outsiders coming in, yeah. They get a lot coming in. That's good. So Ahara Davis has been there recently sparring. So
how's he doing?
Yeah, he's doing good. He's waiting for a fight. I think he's fighting in May. He's highly ranked, so
who's his coach? Will? Is it Will?
Will, yeah. So he's waiting for a call, I expect, for a big fight, so he's on the verge of another big fight.
He's a fighter that gets a lot of stick, doesn't he?
Well, he's controversial. He's great in front of a camera.
He's
different in the gym though. Yeah,
is he different in the gym?
Yeah, he's quiet and he's a nice lad. Yeah.
Okay.
How's he looking at the moment? Sharp?
Yeah, really good. Yeah, so I watched him before his last. He was training there before his last fight. Not training there, but there for sparring. Everyone comes to our gym for sparring because they've just got so many different weights from featherweight upwards to like middle.
Well, Will's got a good stable as well, right? He's got like Sonny Liston Ali.
Yeah.
Who else he got there?
They had a kid fight last night, I think Will did. I'm not sure what his name was. Croxton, is it Jamie Croxton or James Croxton? Or Jimmy Croxton, he boxed last night, so yeah, he's got a good stable.
And are they Frank Warren too, right? So it's quite easy for...
Yeah, some are MTK and some are Frank Warren. But I think Ahara is with MTK or Probellum, new one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then, another question for the boxer card tonight. Have you seen much with the lightweights, the 8-man tournament?
I haven't, no.
Oh, okay.
I know Mace Ruegg was meant to be a stand-in from down my end, down Bournemouth, but he's not in it. But I haven't really looked. The only one I really know is that Ryan Charlton.
Yeah, he's done well.
Yeah,
Chima's a good fighter.
I've never seen him.
He's a world kickboxing champion.
Oh, is he? Yeah.
But he's only had two pro fights.
Yeah.
Kickboxers do quite well when they come into boxing.
Yeah, I think Dylan White was a kickboxer, wasn't he?
Dylan White. Who's Algerian?
Yeah, Florian Markey.
Florian Markey was a kickboxer as well, wasn't he? So.
God, Markey, that was a brilliant fight recently, wasn't it?
It was a good shot.
I seriously thought, who's the guy that?
Chris Jenkins.
I really thought Chris Jenkins could have outboxed him. He looked good.
He's got the better pedigree. I think he's 38, is he now?
Yeah.
Chris Jenkins?
No, I think he's a couple of years older than me because he was in the Commonwealth with me. I think he was 35, 36 maybe, but I think he's like on downward spiral now. To be fair, I think he's had a long career. He's been around for years.
Do you think if he was in his prime, he would have done?
Yeah, I think in his prime, I think he would have done. Yeah, personally.
But Markey looks good. He's coming on nicely. Yeah. What gym is he training at now?
He's training up in Sheffield.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of S&C.
Yeah, he's with Grant Smith.
Is it Grant Smith?
Yeah, Sonny Edwards.
Yeah, that's another good gym.
Yeah, brilliant.
England is so good right now.
Yeah, like Grant Smith, that his son Dalton Smith is fantastic prospect coming through, but he's the same way as Pierce, so there's like a bit of a collision course for them two coming through, which would be a fantastic fight.
This depends when, I guess.
Yeah, it won't be any time soon. They just keep building them, but there's definitely some good fights to look forward to.
And
what's your predictions on Fury White?
I think Fury beats him all day.
Is that being loyal to your traveller background, or is it just?
No, I think Fury's the best heavyweight on the planet. I don't think anyone beats him, to be fair.
Yeah.
Obviously, Dylan White has got a chance if he hits him. But
with that left hook.
Yeah, he's got a great left hook, but he doesn't punch as Deontay Wilder, and Deontay Wilder can put him to sleep. But I think to beat Fury, you've got to put him to sleep, and even then, he'd probably get up. He's got a fighting heart. Like he just gets up. But I just think he's just, for such a big guy, he's so like athletic and fast, and I don't think he can get beat, to be fair.
I think White's body punching gives him a chance.
Yeah.
I
Body
think
snatcher,
he is, because those hooks to the body.
Yeah.
If one of those land clean, like I think if you're headhunting with Fury, you're never going to win.
No.
But I think the body
Can't
punching.
be big.
I think that's what Wilder did in his third fight. I don't know if you saw the third fight.
Yeah.
He started off to the body,
Yeah.
and he was doing all right because he's going
Yeah.
body and he's come up to the head. But then I think he just got into a fight where he was just going headhunting again.
I think that obviously Dylan, they say he's got a good resume and who he's boxed and who he hasn't boxed.
That's
but
probably got a better resume than Wilder, I would say.
yeah, he's got a better resume than most. But
Better resume than Fury, really.
yeah, but
Well,
who's he fought? Yeah.
Fury's only beat Wilder and Klitschko. Obviously, they're both
the best.
one of the
And
best
he-
punchers.
yeah.
But when you look at White, he has
Chisora
had
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
And White struggled with Chisora until he knocked him out.
in both the fights.
Yeah, I
There
think he
were
was
some
getting
good
beat the
fights.
second fight when he chinned him as well.
he needed it.
I
Yeah,
think if you base it on that, I think you have to go Fury.
Yeah, I think Fury beats him all day, and I think
he's got more in his arsenal.
yeah, he can do everything. He can fight. He's not the biggest puncher in the world, but he hits hard enough to know like if you catch him. But I say didn't Parker drop White?
In the last round.
Yeah, and Parker's not a big puncher. I know Fury punches harder than Parker. So
Yeah, well, to be fair, we've only seen Fury's punch power in the last few fights.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
he's
so
never
knockouts
really
in
sat
the
down
first.
and thrown punches.
never
Though,
sat
is he?
down-
He's
he
always
did- Yeah, he did that his last fight. But Deontay Wilder is he 220 pounds?
something like that. Yeah,
Whereas White's 240, 250.
But Fury,
but he's slower as well.
He
Yeah.
is,
Yeah,
he's slower.
and Fury unlocked Wilder's. As soon as he took away his right hand and smothered him,
Yeah.
that was it. He was very smart with his fight with Wilder.
I don't think he'd do the same with White. I'd be surprised if he does.
Do you think it'll just be boxing?
I think
move?
he'd just try and like take the centre, and as he comes in, pop him and move.
Yeah, I think it'd be really close to Chisora Fury. He'll treat it that same way.
Yeah, same in the second fight.
In the second fight,
Yeah.
he'll do the same thing with it.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a very entertaining fight,
No.
but he did what he did to
Yeah, he
win.
wins, and that's that. He wins, and that's the main thing.
AJ Usyk rematch.
Usyk beats him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with everything going on in Ukraine, you think he'll handle it?
Yeah, he's just got that mindset, and I think Usyk, especially in the last round as well, he nearly stopped him.
Yeah.
When you get a bit of a pacer like that, when you get back in the ring with that fella, in the back of your mind, in the last round of that fight, he was giving me a right hiding.
But the same could be said for Ruiz and Joshua 1.
Yeah, I don't think he's been the same after the Joshua Ruiz
He changed
fight.
his style,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just don't think Usyk's hard to beat for anyone.
And he's growing into his heavyweight
Yeah.
frame now as well,
Yeah.
giving him this extra time since their first fight.
Yeah.
He's probably put on another 10, 20 pounds, I would imagine.
Yeah, what makes Usyk so hard to beat? Obviously, you've seen him in the amateurs. You've seen him now in the pros.
Yeah.
What is it
It's
about
just
him
so
that
hard to
stands-
hit.
Is that what it
It's
is?
very hard to hit. He's very clever, so he's always thinking one step ahead of everyone.
Yeah.
What he was doing with AJ, I think, was brilliant. What he done, like, he just stood in front of him, moved his feet, popped him, moved again, and he hit hard enough
to get his
to hurt.
respect.
Yeah. But it's not the power; it's the speed and accuracy that he's got. But I think Usyk beats all the heavyweights bar Fury, and the only reason to say that is Fury's just too big. He's 6'9", long. He's got quite a good boxing brain, so Usyk wouldn't really be able to fiddle about with him like that. So
I'd love to see it.
yeah, so would I.
I'd love to see
So
it.
would I. I just don't think he could fiddle about with Fury the way he did with AJ.
How would you beat Fury if you were coaching a heavyweight right now? That
I think you
didn't
need to
have
be on his chest and just throw. Personally,
Do you think that's what White's going to do? Or
yeah,
tried?
I don't think you can beat him. He's not going to beat him on the back foot. He's got no chance. You just need to be able to hit him clean and keep him out.
I
Personally,
think that's the same with Usyk
Yeah.
because if you see Usyk when he boxed Chisora,
Yeah.
Chisora had the right game plan.
Yeah.
He went in there.
same game plan he's got for every other
Yeah.
fight, innit?
Yeah.
But to be
Changes.
fair, I really think Usyk wanted people to think that was the way of doing that. He's very clever.
Oh, I don't know. I think
I
that's.
think he's very clever. I think
Yeah, go on.
I think he's very clever. Chisora does the same thing. Then he comes steaming in. I don't think Usyk got out of first gear. To be fair,
Well, he weathered the storm, and then you just saw his boxing take over.
I just don't think he got out of first gear.
He was bruised up after that fight, though.
Usyk, yeah.
Usyk, yeah, you don't get
He's a big man punching you, though, isn't he, Derek?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think he's different level.
And last one, Canelo moving back up to light heavyweight.
Yeah, it's a tough fight, Bivol.
That's everyone's got Canelo as a favourite. Again, I actually think Canelo's probably underdog going into this.
Bivol's really good. He's a good amateur.
And he had all of his fight win. Has he won them all by knockout?
Yeah,
not all by knockout.
No, but he hasn't been beat yet, has he?
He's been beaten. No. I think they base it on that last performance against the Spider, Craig Richards.
Yeah, Craig, that's the one.
Where he sort of come and stuck against him.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they thought now's a good chance to get in there and do it.
Listen, Canelo Alvarez, they're clever what they do. They picked Bivol over Berbatov for a reason. Berbatov's a machine.
He's got the 100% knockout ratio.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, he's got.
I think Canelo will win, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as people think. The Canelo and Triple G fight is going to happen again. You know, I think it's been told that's done. It's done deal. He just needs to win.
At super middle, do you think?
I think so. I think Golovkin will move up. And to be fair, after watching Golovkin's last fight, I think he looked a little bit old. Whether the first few rounds he wanted to look like that and he just walked him down and tired the kid out a bit, but
he looked like he didn't warm up, did he? He looked like he looked
old. He's 40 years old now. He's had a long career. But again, the kid he fought was an Olympic gold medalist, so he was no mug.
And he can bang.
Yeah, he can. Yeah.
Morata, isn't it?
Yeah, he won the 2012 Olympics.
At gold, yeah. Was it middleweight?
At the Go-Go, he beat the kid that beat a Go-Go in the semis.
And he was a Japan star, wasn't he, as well?
Yeah.
He was like a superstar.
Yeah, he was, yeah. And he
still is, really.
Yeah, he still is from that, yeah.
Yeah, but I just think Golovkin looked a little bit old. I'd like to see him retire now, to be fair. But
I think taking that Canelo fight's dangerous.
Yeah, Canelo's in his prime now, isn't he?
Yeah, but I think Golovkin sort of deserves the trilogy for a payday, just for everything he's done in his career.
I think he won the first Canelo fight, personally. I don't think it was draw. I thought he won it. The second fight was close, but I thought he won the first one.
I was in California in a bar in the first one, and it was full of Canelo fans, and they all
him,
booed when the decision happened. Yeah. They all booed because they all cheering on Golovkin by the end of it, because he had the Mexican style and looking back on it as well,
he got a hell of a chin, or the pair of them both got good chins, but you can just see how good Canelo is, what he did to Callum Smith, Billy Joe Saunders.
Callum Smith was 6'3", 6'4", isn't he?
Even massive.
And mate, Canelo's 5'8".
Yeah, he's tiny. But yeah, I thought Callum would have given him a bit of a better fight, to be fair. But he's just he didn't have a great build up to that fight though, Callum. I don't think he had as much notice for that fight. I didn't think he had a big camp for it.
Yeah, I think he had 6 weeks or something.
Yeah,
for it,
if that. Yeah.
So styles make fights, and obviously everyone wanted to see AJ Fury happen. Yeah. If AJ gets the win against Usyk and Fury beats White, and we see a British unification, obviously it's a bit different. Where do you see that going?
Fury beats AJ all day. I think. Yeah, I think so. And listen, I know Fury, and I know I was on the squad of AJ, but I just think AJ's all wrong for Fury.
In what sense?
Just the boxing brain of him. He's so big and so long. He just mess him about, kid him, hit him downstairs, hit him upstairs. I think he'd be able to hit him at will.
It'd be another Klitschko Fury. That sort of. Andy Joshua reminds me of a lot of Klitschko.
Yeah,
that sort of upright style.
He gets a bit lost in there, doesn't he? Like, he got to be told what to do. And like when he was fighting Ruiz, like he had to be told what to do. I
thought we had bad cornering in his Usyk fight. Yeah.
I think there's too many. I think he's got too many coaches.
3 or 4 coaches there, didn't he, actually?
It's like there should be one coach. Like in our gym, there's 4 coaches, but the buck stops with Al. Al says what to do. Al does the talking unless he tells you to do something. You know, I think there should be one coach. When there's too many different people telling you different things, it's enough to confuse you. And it's hard enough fighting someone like Usyk anyway. So when you've got like 3 or 4 different people telling you 3 or 4 different things. So yeah, I think he's left Rob now, isn't he? And I think he's gone with Angel Fernandez, AJ, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's a brilliant coach.
I reckon Angel Fernandez is good.
Yeah.
What did you think of Rob when you were when you were with him? Was he a good coach?
I thought he was fantastic.
Was he?
To be fair, he's a brilliant pad man, and I thought he was a good coach. Obviously, at picking people to go to Olympic qualifiers, he's not so good. But yeah, I've got to give credit where credit's due. I always said he was a really good coach.
I'm guessing as well, he makes so many big decisions. Of course, it wasn't the best with you, but he's probably made what, hundreds, thousands of these decisions where he's got to do these picks.
Right, so. Yeah, you say that, but maybe in the long run, I think he might have made the right decision for me. It just wasn't meant for me.
That's good.
But it looks like you're doing
that's the
well
best
now.
way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Best way. You can't look in regret. Is that your?
You know what? Listen, I went for a time of thinking like miserable and a bit down and watching boys fighting. Like obviously going to see Callum Smith go on to win world titles and Cal Yafai and Charlie Edwards. You know, I was on the squad for them, but it wasn't until I think like a good few years after my missus got me into The Secret. Like, what you think about, you bring about, and all the manifestation and all that sort of stuff.
Okay, visualization. Yeah. That's interesting.
And what's your view on all of that?
And you know, the funny thing is that people think I'm mad, and I truly do believe in it, because I was doing it on the squad without even realising I was doing it. And it's mad, as you say. Growing up, always wanted to be a world champion, like as a pro, and I didn't know anything about brain scans and all that till I got to like 13, 14. Like, what do you have to do? That Dad said, you brain scan, check, get medical for a pro licence. And I just said to him, but what about if there's something wrong with my brain scan? Like, if I can't turn pro, can you imagine that I couldn't think of anything like that. That'd be the worst thing in the world, not being able to have my British licence or a boxing licence. And I always used to worry about it for years. And like when I went for a brain scan, I said to him, do you think everything's going to be alright? She went, are you mad? Of course everything's going to be alright. You've been boxing for years, and obviously it wasn't. And again, like growing up, I always wanted kids, but I always used to worry about having kids. And when it comes round to me and my missus like trying for kids, it wasn't happening. So we went to the hospital. There's nothing wrong with me and nothing wrong with my missus, but we just couldn't naturally together. So we had to have IVF. So it's mental, like what you think about. I truly believe you do bring about like manifestation and all that. Like when I went to the Europeans, I said to Rob McCracken, I'm going to get the Spanish kid, the Swedish kid, and the French kid. He went, oh, shut up. And I swear, when I got the draw, he's like, how did you know that? I said, I don't know, just...
Did you say your mum's a judge?
Yeah, she's a judge, yeah.
she knew all that.
Yeah, so it's mental. So I think I do believe in all that, like, what you think about, you bring about, and what's for you will never pass you. So I truly believe I had to go through everything I've gone through in the past to get to the point I am now. And I'm happy now. Got a beautiful family, and I'm happy, so it's good.
And you've got a great gym that you're a part of.
Exactly.
You're back in the game.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think, how many people do you know say, I'm going to be a professional coach and then just join one of the best gyms straight away? I had to go have the experience that I've had to be able to join that gym. So
exactly. I think that could be a future. You know, who knows what's next? Coaching a world champion next for you, maybe.
Yeah, well,
from start to finish.
Looking at the talent in the gym, it's quite possible.
Yeah. So what is the future for Iain Weaver? What is it that what is he looking to do?
Well, obviously I've got a new baby on the way, so we're gonna have hope maybe a little boy. It might be a future world champion.
Yeah,
you never know.
There you go.
But I don't know. Just I'm happy doing what I'm doing at the minute. Just going helping out at the gym, not control of any boxers, just helping them all out. Going to the shows, and just enjoying boxing again instead of it being a dread. I enjoy it now, so it's good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thank you, Iain. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much for coming down, and thank you for your time.
Not a problem.
Guys, thank you very much for listening. Iain Weaver, what's your social media handle? Your Instagram page and stuff?
At Iain Weaver.
Just at Iain Weaver. Go check out Iain Weaver.
Too easy.
Yeah, won't forget that. Check out his page and follow his journey, guys. Thank you again for everyone for listening, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.